Hello everyone, SpeeDMan here with another episode of the Let's Learn Gran Colombia series for Civilization 6. So we're going to go ahead and continue where we left off in the previous episode. We are a good bit further into the classical era and now we are starting to build some tempo. So we've got a nice little cluster of
From
cities that
humble
are building
beginnings, you have shown
and we're in a
remarkable
good position.
growth. Leave your bronze for iron, and rule with horse and sword.
So a good thing
The
is
sky
that we
above
have the
begins to
potential
reveal
to
its
get a golden
secrets,
age that will
a
exert some
collection
good
of
pressure.
heaven
So Coupe did
that
settle a
uplifts
city
our hearts
near the
and
peninsular
guides
east
us to
part of our
foreign shores.
coastline. Not a major
You
issue
could
because
have
as long as we
followed the
exert
whims
pressure
of your
and
colleagues,
eventually get
Simon Bolivar.
an upgrade to
But instead
Imani,
you
we can
chose
make
to
use of
become
that
the
and really
liberator.
put additional pressure. So
Hardships
this could be a
never
good
dissuaded you.
diplomat game to kind of work Imani's upgrade tree. So we'll go here, we'll take a look, and we'll go into emissary here. That'll allow us to basically start forcing loyalty pressure a little bit more onto the cities nearby that aren't that are against us. Spies late game or mid game, mid to late game can be useful for us to kind of have that. So if we're, say, in the capital and we know that it's likely that the capital is going to get hit, then we use that as an opportunity to force spies to be much weaker. So not a problem, but just an option. But really, I'm going to be more focused on this one. I may likely stop at emissary just because of the necessity of using other ones. Because I will want to take, say, for example, Reina into Panama and then utilize that as a trade route kind of venue because eventually it starts setting up trade routes in a lot of these other areas. So you can see here, Hungary's going to be here, and we'll be in a good position. So we're going to go ahead and continue to move these units up, and we'll kind of work our way back up here, get open borders, and then kind of start working our way in through this area and kind of explore a bit more. Maybe go through here, see if there's any connecting land here that we can work our way east, maybe explore a bit more of the map. So overall, not a bad position. It's definitely workable. We did expand our growth within our empire a good bit. It is important to get those settlers early, so I will definitely take more of those settlers, even though it does take away from other development. I would much rather get some settlers here, maybe another settler here, really get a nice kind of cluster of cities here. And that can help our growth. Like, good iron production here. So what I might do, since I have a good supply of both, we'll see who is in the market for iron. So 3 gold per turn, not that useful. 6 gold per turn, a lot more value.
Sometimes the wield
Okay, so this will likely be a bit of a shorter episode. However, I did want to go ahead and just make sure we did get a bit more growth within our particular empire and kind of go from here before we kind of continue our real proper development of our economy. So we'll go ahead and get currency going, and then we'll can take it from there. You have a nice bit of gold per turn, so this is definitely going to be useful for development. That'll buy some of those necessary upgrades that I'll need. Give me some extra culture per turn, some extra loyalty. It can be very useful.
The poets have been mysterious.
So now, at this point, since I'm already one turn away from that, really that extra city here, I will likely put the city maybe somewhere in this region here. And that'll be a good point there. Eventually settle another city here later on, but not a crazy concern at this point. So it is tempting to go ahead and push a little bit more science per turn. Not really a big deal at the moment. 3.4, that will build more. It's 360 gold, so basically 10 turns for each library. So that way I can gain some good gold and I can actually start working that. So not too much of a problem there. I've not started working that, so I'll go ahead and buy that. Gain a little bit. Obviously it takes a little bit, just 1 gold away because of the maintenance cost, but that is alright. That'll go up to 4.4. And that's not a bad position. So this will be a nice strong unit. This will actually have quite a bit of power. So I will wait to upgrade them at mana arms. So I'm going to first eventually get to the point where I get here. And this is when I'm going to upgrade them, because they'll have that additional +7 on top of the 45, and that'll make them really competitive. Marby small, but really not a major concern. Really, this is more of an economy game, early game. So religion, not a concern. I already factored early in the beginning of the game that this would likely be a religion game for Matthias, so I'm not too concerned. Okay, so there's an island there. Could settle there. Could also settle west. Find it to be more important to go ahead and settle here. I need to exert pressure onto this city to complete the plaza. And eventually, after I complete the plaza, I'll start working on an ancestral hall. And that way I can take that settler card off and I can actually really start growing. Okay, so Coupe being deficient in science put a good bit into that. Not too concerning. Put my unit back here and then fortify. Bring them up. I should get done soon. And overall, we're in a good position. So getting that going, that'll just allow me to get a little bit more food. That's going to help, especially with this city here. Speaking of which, I will go ahead and pop that over and take that to there. Or I'd rather go ahead and get that growth in 3 turns. That'll be a bit more beneficial. Since I do have a builder there, I can always build another one, but I would rather take that development and say focus on like a granary. I do apologize, we do have a little bit of storms in the area, so it might be a little bit thundery at times, but no worries though.
May I suggest that we construct a government building?
Wealth consists not in having great...
So I'll go to Mogadishu first. Reason being is while I am getting less gold per turn, the benefit will be setting up the trade routes or trading posts earlier will allow me to gain more of these additional benefits. Because once I get Panama going, having some trading posts in between some of these other cities, once Panama's really going, that'll be really beneficial. I'll go ahead and get Ancestral Hall, get that locked in. Go ahead and get another builder going. I'll get that going so that way I can gain some extra production. Go for apprenticeship so I can start developing kind of that military growth. Now, his military strength for Coupe is a bit high. The reason being is he just has quite a few galleys. Not majorly concerning. As long as we stay friendly.
Ha!
As long as we stay friendly, it shouldn't be a major concern. 10 gold turn for that. 12 gold. Better deal. Surprisingly, Matthias Corvinus actually has a much better deal. 120 gold up front, 134 gold up front is actually pretty good. It's a very nice gold production here. Now I can go ahead and just block this. Just kind of keep an eye on where he's at. So gaining a good bit of diplomatic favor, so this is not bad. Overall, not a bad position to be in. Galley is 11 turns. Alright, so about turn 80, we'll go ahead and finish up once recorded history is gone and taken care of, and we'll kind of take it from there. I'd say probably another harbor here. Could be pretty good with another city. So this would be an excellent settle right here. It's wooded grass. It's a, let's see here. It's a grassland hills, or just hills. Okay, so plains, hills, woods, and deer. So it's actually as close to basically a perfect settlement point because of all that additional production, and got a good access to iron. Nice mine location here. You know, that's not bad at all. Very powerful. Late game, I can go ahead and maybe put down, you know, a couple wonders here. All right. Settle here. Now I will go ahead and for industry, I will take that back up north here and then make the industry there. That way the building construction speed is faster.
I shot an arrow into the...
Okay, so monument is complete. Okay, so what I'll likely want to do is right about here is make an industrial zone. And that'll give some bonuses to some of these cities here. That'll be helpful. We don't need to make too many of them. The less I have to make, the better. Commercial hub will be quite good here. So I will go ahead and get started. I do get the adjacency bonuses, but kind of current thing is really considering when that's going to erupt. I'd rather get a +1 here. A little less science per turn, but if I'm having to repair 2-3 times in the game, you know, a campus, you know, while I am getting better bonuses earlier on, this hasn't erupted yet, so eventually it will. And when it does, it's going to be enough to where it can cause some damage to some of those infrastructure pieces. Okay, so now Bogota has that. I'll cancel that movement. Actually, I'll just take them down here, gain a little production, move them to here, and go ahead and make that. And that completes the arrow score requirements for Golden Age. That'll put some pressure on here. So perfect. So this is good progress. I'm not going to worry about Apadana. Not really a big deal. I'm not going to be making too many wonders in the capital. So what I will do is I will go ahead and let's see here. Watermill wouldn't hurt. Just a little extra bit of production wouldn't be a bad thing. And go ahead and pop that down. So 3 cities in the span of this one era. It's not bad. It's actually pretty good. We've already got, let's see, 8, 10. Speaking, literally just on point.
History is the...
Literally perfect timing, just as I was talking about it. That would have canceled that, or at least, you know, put that further back. And a good thing is, even though that guy got hurt, that's going to eventually add some extra extra bonuses to that, although I did lose a tile or a population, unfortunately. But sometimes that's unfortunately part of the game. I will actually swap that tile because I'm going to want to get that population back soon. Yeah. Sometimes that happens. You know, it sucks when it does, but that's sometimes how it goes. It is a nice 5 population capital, so not a terribly bad thing. You know, ideally, he's at 8. He starts with an extra population though, and does have like really good early growth as a capital, so it's a difficult comparison. But not to worry, I'll go ahead and get games and recreation going. I'll get a mine here, so that way I just get a little extra adjacency bonus. You know, I'm not sure if quarries gave adjacency bonuses. I know mines do. Time to check. Ah, yeah. Jason quarry. And I need another mine for that to give me an extra point. What I do is I could always harvest one of these and then put another mine down, and that'll give an extra +1. So basically that'll end up being like a +3 production, which is not bad. Definitely could be a lot worse. So I am going to want to make sure that continue growing. This is an excellent tile here because of this industry. It's very, very powerful. I believe it might be the same price, 120, 120. Extra amenity wouldn't hurt. He has no value to it. 8 gold per turn. Go ahead and do that now. And I'll give him open borders. Another 3 gold per turn. That's a misclick, but that's fine. How much do you want for that? And what about iron? And let's see here. Go ahead and try that. Okay, so for 4 gold. I'll save that iron. So now I have the option to go ahead and get Reina going, and I'll put Reina in Panama. That way I can establish her and get her started as an eventual good trade civ. Really start growing the city faster. Some of this additional growth will help kind of get a nice little foothold over this north part. So good. This is actually pretty good. This is good development. Could be better than making some small little, you know, blunders and errors, of course. Like, some of this stuff is still there. I need to get rid of that. Those are just mistakes, you know, those are things I'm learning and working on, but eventually want to get to a point where I'm more consistent about not forgetting that.
That is spent in the saddle.
So, can't create horsemen. So if I were to try to declare war on that, could go for that, but that's not necessarily a big deal at the current moment. So I need to see where that campus would go that I wanted to make. +1. Not bad, but honestly, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and just get a harbors going. I would actually rather start getting some serious additions to my gold per turn output, because that'll really give me a good base to work with. So that being said, getting good food growth, not a major concern here. I will go ahead and get, let's see here. Reserves will kind of situational. They're very situational. It depends on your appeal. Like if I press 3, you can see the appeal on much of my empire is not really all that great. You know, over here is better. So I could probably put a couple preserves. You know, like maybe a preserve here could be really useful. So what I'll do is I'll put like maybe like preserve like there could be good. Preserve here could be useful. That's going to lose. That's going to lose appeal, but can gain some back eventually if I were to go for the Eiffel Tower, for example, which will gain +2 appeal for all my tiles in the civilization. How good would a theater square be? A commercial hub here. It almost seems like it would be better to have one of the cities go ahead and start getting under the builder ready, and then pluck that and then put that down. So I'll go ahead and, since that's a small city, I'll go ahead and just optimize its growth a little bit. And let me get the let me just get the growth going, because the additional population is more important right now in that city. Same thing in this one. We'll lock that. Oh, just construction.
A physician without a knowledge of astrology has no...
So that does open up the option if I were to, I can go ahead and get some builders going, because then I can take the builder down here, and as this is growing, get that builder set up, you know, use a charge here, use, see, that's a 2 food, 2 production. So that's already a pretty good tile. I could harvest that if need be, but I'll go ahead and get a commercial hub here. This is not a very high value tile. This is more of a valuable tile, since it has a granary completion. If I were in a situation where I would be more likely at war with Coupe, not right now, but soon enough, then I would say having more the ancient walls would help protect me eventually, because he does have quite a few galleys. It's not a major concern. He is building walls, as you can see here. So eventually, when that does have walls, that will be an issue, but something I'll keep an eye on. He's far enough away to where his navy would be the only thing that'd be able to protect him from that. But basically, if I were to take that city quickly, then I would be in a good position. But I'm further up. He is gaining a lot of science per turn, even though he's got... Now that is odd, because he's not producing... Huh. Yeah, he's not producing a lot of science per turn. I'm not quite sure how he's getting so much science per turn. Unless he's like, unless there's a city that he has that might have settled by a science-based wonder, but I'm not sure. It's a bit impressive. I'll go ahead and start working my way down here, maybe gain a little more information on what's over here. Rotation would be easier if I weren't being blocked by as much influx of troops. And then campus research grants was a possibility. It also go ahead and train a galley. That way I can go ahead and get that I think it was, let's see here. Yeah, I'll get that going here. And that's not too bad. Okay. Well, everyone, I want to thank you for your time. It was a really good growth for this particular era. So we are finishing up the classical era, going soon into the medieval era. But this is a little bit of progress to get us going, and we'll kind of take it from there. And good thing is it's not going too far above the maximum Eric score for a golden age. So good thing is that it'll keep me within the range of working a good medieval era. The goals can be to get a normal age for the medieval era, post-medieval era. So that way I don't need to worry about loyalty pressure. But the golden age here will really start to put pressure here on this city. This has walls, but won't be a major concern. All right, well, thank you, everyone, and wish you all well, and look forward to seeing you in the next episode of Let's Learn. Take care.